Hey guys, Tori here, back with Cast and Shoot Outdoors. It is the first week of March. We are back here at camp in the Central Forest where Father and I and the family deer hunt. This edition, in this video, we're going to be going over mineral for deer in the spring. Breakdown of dicalcium phosphate mixed with mineral salt, just your standard mineral salt. And then we also do have a little bit of apple scent attractant, so those deer can smell it, if you want to say. A big thing with this is what we're trying to do here is improve overall health. We're not just going for big bones on the head. We're going for doe, milking purposes. We're going for fawn development, for bones. Every animal in the deer herd, not only in the deer herd, but overall, you're going to find other animals too coming up to these blocks and soaking in those nutrients. And at this time of the year, it is very important, especially like I said, for those does and fawns, because those does will be dropping here within the next 2 months. And one thing we've noticed big time in the past is those fawns sure like to hit it too. A lot of times those are the first to come in, and then the does seem to follow. But not only is this going to benefit this breakdown that we'll teach you about today, but overall any sort of trace mineral that you can put out will benefit your herd. But on top of that too, you also have to check your local baiting regulations, because here in Clark County, Wisconsin, we are legally allowed to bait up to 2 gallons. Okay, and after mixing these things, of course, we stick to our 2-gallon rule here. And one thing about this too is I know some guys like to put a mineral site here and a mineral site there and a mineral site there, especially on bigger properties. That's okay, but in small properties you only need one. You don't need to spread them out. You want to create that hub for those deer in one spot. You don't need all. There's no benefit really to having multiple sites. Anyways, we're gonna break it down here. This dicalcium here, this is filled mostly with calcium. I'm sorry. You do have a little bit of phosphorus in here. But that calcium, like I said, for those bone development in those fawns especially, that's big. So I am going to mix these here, and like I said before, it's 50-50 with the trace mineral and the calcium. You don't want to overdo one or the other, make it a little more potent. And I know one thing too is if you get a little more than the other, of course the deer are going to like the salt, but you get too much of the calcium and you don't have enough, they're not going to hit it quite as much as they would. Those deer don't tend to like it as much. But yeah, like I said, we'll start with the calcium. We'll go 50-50. So I'll make sure I fill that in the bucket, probably a good 3 inches on the bottom of your pail. And then the same with the trace mineral. We're just gonna do about 3 inches in the barrel. Want to stick under that 2-gallon, make sure we're legal. And another thing is I probably should be wearing some sort of facial gear, because this stuff is nasty, and I can tell you what, that salt, you get that in your mouth, that does definitely not taste good. Probably some gloves too. Okay, and then lastly here we'll add our attractant, which is apple scent. You don't have to add this, we just like to. No more than a tablespoon tops with this, because this is very strong stuff. Hey guys, we're back here at our mineral site now. I got Grace with me. Here comes Benjamin, my little helpers. Basically what we do when we put this mineral out, is we find a stump already on the ground or a log or something. You want to keep it on that stump so it soaks in, and so those deer, because if you put it on the ground, which you can do, don't get me wrong, you can totally put it on the ground, but then essentially your deer are eating dirt, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure the deer don't care, they still eat it. But what we personally like to do is find a stump. It'll soak into that stump, and we've had it where that mineral goes, and 6 months later, they're still eating on that stump. I still have pictures of them, because that phosphorus, that calcium, that mineral, and that salt soaked in, and now it just became a giant chew toy, basically. But basically, this is our stump, this is our site. We've had this established for the last 2 years, so deer know this is where they need to go to find that mineral. So what we'll do is we just take our 2 gallons here and basically dump it and pour it over your stump. You guys want to back up just a little bit, just in case, so we don't get any salt dust, because it doesn't taste very good. And yeah,
But smells good.
Yeah, it does. It smells like apples, doesn't it? And essentially, there is your new mineral site. Now that should last us all the way through the summer. You can, after this goes, you can add more. Of course, as the rain goes, it will wash this away, it will soak it in, but we could not dump this for the rest of the year, and I can guarantee you the deer will still keep coming to this site, which we will update it. We will, in a few months, I will pour a little more. That's just like we like to do, but that's up to you. So that's about all it is to it. There's not much. Do this and it'll work wonders for your deer herd. So hope everybody enjoyed, and shoot straight and tight lines, everybody. Okay, and lastly, we'll add our attractant. This is an optional thing we like to add. It give it a little flavor, give it a little scent. Only need about one excuse me, redo it.
That's fine. Keep going. I can cut it out.
And I was trying to spit and talk at the same time.
How's it taste?
Not very good.